With me right now is Dr. Trin, and we are going to talk about his most recent trip to Boston. And in this time around, you go out to many trips to help people with your Tongue Out organization, but this one was about an Alzheimer's research conference that happened to be held in Boston, right?
Yes, it is an annual, once a year, international clinical trials research meeting specific for Alzheimer's. And we have top researchers from around the world, many in Europe, in China, and Japan, and we put our brains together, we present our data, and we present the latest research results, and we get a good idea of what's working, what's not working, and what we're learning from all this.
So on this conference, you have different doctors present their findings, or do you all kind of sit around a table and talk that way, or is it kind of in front of an audience?
It's a little bit of both. It's there were at least 1,000 there, if not more, with that, and they're physicians, they're PhDs, they're all researchers, and they are typically everyone has a project that they're working on. And so yes, they present their projects, and a lot of the large research, sometimes the data is presented there for the first time.
Okay.
And then announced to the public with that. So lots of hope, I believe. I think on December 15 at Clubhouse 5, I'm going to do a presentation of everything I've learned on Boston.
Yeah.
But I am seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We have seen several phase 2 clinical research that have shown some promise.
Wow.
And when I say shown promise, what I mean is, you know, this amyloid plaque that deposits in the brains of patients with Alzheimer's. We've seen some phase 2 results that have successfully reduced amyloid plaque. Again, these are early studies, so these phase 2 successful results needs to be replicated in larger phase 3 clinical trials, which are going on right now. As a matter of fact, at Irvine Clinical, we conduct several of these phase 3s and phase 2s for these compounds. But seeing some of these results are giving me some hope in that amyloid can be removed from the brain.
That's nice, yeah.
And what we need to confirm is, if we remove the amyloid, does the memory come along with that as far as improvement? Other than just removing amyloid.
Right, because if you remove that, and the memory doesn't improve, well, maybe you've stopped it from getting worse. Yeah.
So in some of these phase 2s, we have seen, compared to the control group or the placebo group, we've seen that some of these medications have actually shown some improvement as far as not deteriorating at the same rate as a placebo group in memory and cognitive function. So again, early studies, I wouldn't, put, everything on that hope, but at the same time, I see some light at the end of the tunnel, possibly, but we need to again confirm it with these larger phase 3 studies.
So again, the amyloid blocks signals.
Yes,
am I right?
That's correct. The amyloid blocks.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wall or something put in there. So the hope may be, yes, you take down that wall somewhat, but the real hope would be the signals be
reconnected.
Reconnect.
That's right. So in a normal brain, for an optimal brain to work well, we have about 100 billion brain cells in every brain. And each brain cell had tons of connections to other brain cells. So in a normal brain, one brain cell talks to another brain cell. It talks to the next brain cell, and it communicates in that way. The amyloid gets in the way of that, and it forms these plaques that interrupts the communication. As a result, the brain cell shrinks, it dies, and the brain shrinks in general.
Okay.
And that's a slow process over time. It's a process that occurs actually 15 to 20 years even before the first symptom of Alzheimer's. And our goal is to get all the way to the front of this problem.
Yeah.
Identify it and try to stop it with that. So the focus that I've noticed from Boston is that the majority of these clinical trials are all focused at the earlier phases of the disease now.
Right.
We have learned from the last 2 decades that focusing treatments in the later phase of the disease, at the moderate stage, at the severe stage, have not been successful.
Okay.
We have thrown hundreds of clinical trials at it without success.
Okay.
Now, as a result of that experience and what we learned from that, we are now going to the early part of this disease,
okay,
where the condition is mild, or even before the condition even appears. If we can identify it at that stage and basically bring in the troops and try to stop it at that stage, that's where research is headed for Alzheimer's treatment. And again, I'm going to elaborate on that on December 15th.
Yeah, would the hope be in the long run that, let's say this is something kind of runs in your family,
right,
that perhaps at a certain time in your life you could get
start prevention
some kind
early.
of even if it's some kind of prevention or
That's
vaccine, right, or things like that. Now they have some of the cancer vaccines.
Yes, yes.
That they give to kids.
Vaccines for Alzheimer's is being tested.
Yeah.
And along with that, we have a whole slew of prevention type activities to minimize our risk,
right, that you've talked about,
we are aware of, that we can implement early, with this knowledge. And,
well, that's good news.
So yeah,
I mean, it's getting there.
It's getting there, slow, but yes.
All right. So just tell me, how was your trip to Boston in general?
Boston, my first time there, beautiful city. Went on the Paul Revere Trail.
Yeah.
Bought some tea, about to throw into the harbor, but I've decided maybe I shouldn't get arrested. Yeah. And so didn't throw into harbor, so maybe next time I'll throw it in.
Yeah.
But I did buy some tea and ready to throw it in.
Yeah, I bet there's signs. Are there signs there that say, please don't throw this in the harbor?
I didn't see any signs, but I didn't want to test it either.
Yeah.
Beautiful city, very clean city, very historic.
Oh, yeah.
And you see old buildings, historic buildings next to these new high-rises. It's amazing. I'd love to take the family back there and just check it out. And it's pretty now with the color changes.
Oh, I bet it's beautiful.
With that, love the city.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to go there sometime, maybe in a year or two.
Definitely.
So we look forward to that. If you're interested in a free consultation, you can do that with Dr. Trin. The number is 949-753-1663, healthybrainclub.com.
Yes.
They can get a hold of you and see maybe they're a candidate for a consultation.
Yeah, I do completely free consultations, and what I do, and my role is to evaluate a patient's general health, their condition, and see what risk factors they may have for Alzheimer's, and we will customize a plan on how to help you reduce your risk factors. It's just my mission, my purpose, and that's what I do. And if patients are interested in clinical trials, and if they're a good candidate, we'll enroll them in a clinical trial.
All right, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Take care, we'll see you again soon.
Awesome.
And we'll be right back. Go to Boston.
Yeah.